Dark Night of the Moon, Book 3 in the Camp Shifter series. Written by D.J. Jennings. Performed by Jeffrey Kafer and Heather Costa.
Chapter 1. It was 5:30 a.m. and Andie felt like she did on her first day of sleepaway camp, which, in a weird sort of way, made perfect sense. Her skin tingled with excitement as she handed her bag to the bus driver, who gave her a weary, slightly jaded smile and tossed her wheeled duffel bag into the baggage compartment under the bus. She knew she was lucky, although shifting on stage during the ballet practice had been a humiliating experience. Not so much when it happened, she did remember that, but the aftermath of waking up in a hospital, in restraints, completely naked under a thin sheet, with a pain in her ass. That turned out to be the shifter vaccine the hospital staff had administered. Unlike male shifters who spontaneously changed into their animal form for the first time, she hadn't been transported directly to her nearest camp shifter in the back of a van, handcuffed to the wall. Apparently, she'd collapsed shortly after sedation, and the slightly old-fashioned doctor at the hospital tended to favor female shifters, giving them gentler treatment than the guys received. She was grateful. And a little miffed. Being miffed about her sore ass was nothing in comparison to how she'd felt with a sprained ankle, though. Sidelined from dancing for 2 months, minimum, she'd be sent off to camp shifter with crutches, a cane, and a broken heart. Name? A guy in a camp shifter polo shirt looked at his clipboard, his manner one of boredom. How could anyone be bored about camp shifter? Andie Cumbington. Full name, she sighed. Andrina Mustaka Cumbington. That's a mouthful, he said as he checked off her name and turned to the next woman. Hopping up the steps of the bus with the cane she'd insisted was fine. It's enough, Mom, I swear. My body's healing faster now that I've shifted. She shuffled to the third row and plopped down next to a small woman who looked like a terrified rabbit. Huh, maybe that's exactly what she was. Andie, she said, shoving out her hand at the poor woman, who jumped in her seat and shot Andie a nervous smile. At 5'9" Andie was a tall ballerina, but it was her hands and broad shoulders that set her apart. Broad was an understatement. How about huge? I'm Lynn, the woman squeaked. Long, dull brown hair, friendly brown eyes, dressed in brown linen. There was a theme going on with Lynn, but as Andie settled into her seat, she didn't care. It was going to be okay. She had a friend. She knew someone on the bus. She was here. She was officially a shifter. Great to meet you, Andie said, spinning in the seat, her cane between her knees as she looked around the bus. How many...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?